Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Simbolista. In this pick a card reading, we're going to be focusing on what do you guys need to focus on right now.
Ready to have some fun? Let's do it.
So the way this works is you're just going to pick a card that you feel most drawn to. So here we have 3 cards for you guys to choose from. The first one is going to be Kandinsky, second one is Morris, and third one is Kahlo.
She's a babe!
So the card that you're most drawn to, the card that you feel it in your gut, that you're like, I want to know more about this card, that's the reading that's going to apply most to you. Feel free to watch all 3 of them, and whichever one resonates the most is the message that you need to hear right now. Once you've picked a card, you're just going to fast forward to the timestamp to see the reading. Thank you guys so much for watching Simbolista. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever you guys want. Thanks guys. Let's get into the reading. Okay, so with this Kandinsky card, what is calling out to me is the begin with a dot, right? Begin somewhere. Don't limit yourself with all these different possibilities, with all these different options that are available, all these things that are running through your mind. Focus very clearly. Focus your eye. Begin with a dot. Begin somewhere. And then first card that comes out with this reading is the 6 of Coins here. And as you can see, this man has all of these coins hanging above him. And he's got one below him. And he's got one that he's handing out to somebody. Okay? This man possesses everything that he needs right above his head. And he has outstretched the one that he has taken from above and has chosen to give out into the world. The next card that comes out is going to be the Temperance card. Again, notice how here, this is what is calling out to me. All of the books that are on the shelf, right? This man possesses all of the knowledge that he needs, and he pulls one out and is sifting through. He is being illuminated twice. Fire, fire. Temperance, taking it slow. Patience. And he's sifting through, but he has all of this knowledge available. He has the coins available, and he has the knowledge available. Next card is going to be the Knight of Wands. All right? This is a fast-moving card. Again, we do have the fire here again. I always see mountains for me represent the wisdom aspect. He's marching towards wisdom at a very fast pace with the sun behind him. Again, fire, 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 fire. And this is a very lit card as well. And this one, even though he's in the dark, he still has enough light to guide his way. He does have enough light to guide his way. The next card is the fastest card in the deck, is the Chariot. The Chariot being illuminated in the back by stars. Again, it's a lot of this, what I'm getting with this card is there is this wisdom, sacred geometry here as almost being directly aligned. This person is aligned. It's like everything is aligning. It's a very balanced card. A wing on either side, a horse right in front of him. Again, the horses again. But they're riding forward. They're riding towards something. Next card. The Ace of Cups. A new beginning. A new emotional beginning. Again, also very balanced card. A wing on either side. It's almost as if what it's saying is you have something that you are wanting to start, but it's almost as if you're being held back by yourself, even though you possess everything that you need in order to march forward with great speed, and you want to march forward. You want to cause ripples, But you're the one that seems to be holding yourself back here. And I'm not exactly sure what this is about, but this seems to be probably about a new project. Some inner project of some sort that you, in a way, almost don't trust yourself with moving forward. It's almost as if you don't trust yourself with this project, or you don't feel like you have what it takes. And it's like, you don't need to do all of this at once. What it's saying is that you just need to start. Start somewhere. Start with a dot, and everything else will align. Everything else will march forward because you are being guided. You are being lit. Next card in the deck is the mystery card. And what is calling out to me with this card is the word here, occult, right? It comes from the Latin occultare, which means hidden. That which is not seen. The unknown, the unknowable. It's almost like you're holding yourself back from something that you really want to achieve. Some great inner mystery. Something that seems too grand to achieve, right? The moon is also, in traditional tarot, the moon is that which is hidden. That which is deceiving. And yet here, right in the middle, is that light. It's like, if you were to only trust yourself, to just start somewhere.
Do it! Just do it!
Your inner knowing here. Let go of those ghosts, because what you want to achieve, that which you have a slight inkling of, ooh, it's possible, or ooh, I could possibly do something great. It's like, just start somewhere.
Do it! Yes, you can!
Start somewhere. Because you have everything you need. You have everything you need. And you are, in a way, being guided. Look, here you have the sun, you have the moon, you have the stars, you have light everywhere. You have everything that you need. Just do it.
No! What are you waiting for? Do it!
And last but not least, geez, these cards really can't lie. The last card that you got here is a quote card that says, "Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start."
Just!
And where do you start? You start with a dot. Guys, anything that you wish to achieve, you can achieve. But you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect anybody else to. You have to be your own wingman here.
You is kind. You is important.
You can do it. You just have to start. And it doesn't have to be with something huge, okay? You don't have to start building this giant pyramid right away. It starts with a dot. And those dots, you're guided. Those dots, you're just going to start piling them up, and next thing you know, you have this giant pyramid that people are going to be in awe of because you started it. Most people don't even start things. They just dream of things and then they forget about their dreams. And it's like, guys, get your shit together. Come on. You can do it.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. Damn, I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
And you've made me feel very special to invite me into your home and to let me be part of your family. Thank you very much.
Okay, go home.
It's over. Go home.
All right, if you picked card number 2, William Morris, this is your reading. Here we go. I don't know if this quote relates to you in any way. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, let it go. But this quote does call out to me, art is the methadone of the masses. First card we get is the 10 of Swords. And right off the bat with this card, I normally don't read it this way. Traditionally, the 10 of Swords is not read this way. But I am reading from a very visual, very symbolic, and intuitive perspective. And with this card, what calls out to me is obviously the huge traitor sign. Normally, I usually just pay attention directly to all of the swords or the meaning of the 10 of Swords. Swords are going to be very mental, very verbal, very intellectually motivated. However, in this reading, traitor is really, really calling out. And I wouldn't be surprised if this has something to do with somebody else. Your next card that comes out is the Hermit card. And again, usually I am drawn to either the Hermit. It's a card of looking within, kind of seeking your own inner wisdom, your own inner guidance, and getting to know yourself a little bit more. But in this one, what calls out to me is going to be the crow on top of the beacon of light here. And it's almost as if this person is blinded by the light to the point that it cannot see the crow aggressively calling down. It almost like it attacking this person, about to attack this person. And they're standing in the shadows atop the light. They're not being illuminated by the light per se, as this person is. This person is not really seeing the crow. It's seeing the crow in a different light, blinded by the flame. So this may be a reading about looking within. Either this is somebody else or this is something internal. Again, the swords tend to be some internal calling, some internal wisdom that's going on here that is either being neglected or being hostile. But from what I'm getting for most of you, it's most likely going to be somebody in your party, somebody who is within your inner circle that most likely is not beneficial to your overall experience here. So what you need to be focused on right now, I think, at least so far, I think it's urging you to pay attention either to habits that you are portraying or incorporating into your personality, or somebody else that is affecting your personality. Somebody who is not necessarily a good influence. So while this is a sign that is warning you, right, that traitors are ahead, crows tend to be symbols, birds in general tend to be symbols, at least for me when I read, of guidance, of spirit. But a crow is usually also read as a very wise creature. Crows are extremely intelligent. And it's almost like this is a warning. This is a warning about somebody. I am getting that this is a person. This is a person. This is either you or somebody in your inner circle that I would be careful about. The next card in your reading is going to be the Devil card. Again, usually this is not read as an evil card, even though it is the Devil card. It is kind of a scary card. It usually represents specific habits, either addictions or indulgences that are not particularly beneficial. But in this one, I do sense that this is a person that we're talking about. This is a person that everybody else is kind of blind to. They cannot see. They are under stars, right? They have a starry-eyed look. And they are blinded by this overreaching beast of an energy that is kind of looming over you that is not entirely beneficial. The next card that we have here is the Nine of Cups. Again, normally not read this way, but I am getting very strongly that this is somebody, either you or somebody else, that is a vampire like an energetic vampire. Somebody who collects people's emotions. Cups are going to be representative of the emotional state. But I do get here that it's almost like they collect other people's emotions. They collect that energy. Like trophies. And they just sit back here and admire, almost present to the world, like, look at everything. See how arms outstretched. This is the same person that we're talking about here. And everybody else is starry-eyed. Here, they sit with their backs, like, look at how many stars I have accumulated here. The next card in the deck is going to be the Two of Swords. You have everything here in order to release yourself from this energy, from this person. However, you are blinded. It is night, but you still have light to see. It may be night, but you still have light to see. And yet you choose not to. You are blinding yourself from something that is not beneficial. From someone that is not beneficial. Again, the cards don't lie. The next card in this reading is going to be opposition and balance. Okay? Conflicts with is calling out to me. Mirrors. This is somebody who is perhaps mirroring different aspects of you, or it is somehow you cannot see, even though you are being guided to pay attention, to wake up to the situation. Either you are doing something that is not beneficial, or somebody is in your group that is not meant to be there.
She doesn't even go here.
You need to cut yourself free from the situation. Nothing is binding you here. There is nobody stopping you from taking off the blindfolds. But there is something here that is in opposition. It is not balanced, right? It is not, everything else is in balance. And yet, that very thing that you look straight forward at every single day, that you seek to almost as a confirmation. The moon card as well. Whenever I see a moon, and here it's the Two of Swords. So this is, I'm getting that it's somebody that you speak to for guidance. It is someone that you see. Here we get the two, the parallel two. We talk about balance. This is somebody that you see as your equal. Someone that you go to for advice. And they're not giving you good advice. And it's like deep down you know they're not giving you good advice. And yet you choose not to see that very thing that is staring you blatantly in the face. Last but not least, we have a quote card. The quote here, the cards do not lie, you guys. One person of integrity can make a difference. Okay? One person of integrity can make a difference. One person that does not have integrity can make a huge difference. Pay attention. Pay attention. Who do you have in your inner circle? Who do you allow to influence you? Because if this person has integrity, that can make a huge difference. That can change the game. But if you're taking advice from somebody who is not worthy, right? Who is not, does not have your best interest at heart, that can make a huge difference.
Once again, that's just my opinion. They're very, I don't want to say real unpleasant, but they bother me if they don't have a lot of depth in them.
Okay? Pay attention to this, guys. And I feel like the signs are everywhere. They're calling you everywhere. There are signs guiding you that are telling you like, hey, listen up. Listen. Look at this here. Don't shut your eyes to the situation. Face the mirror. Seek balance. Restore balance. Balance is not you blanking yourself out on both sides and everybody partaking in this. Okay? It is you waking up to the situation and saying, I'm going to cut myself free. Wake up, guys. Someone here is a snake. Someone here is a snake.
Am I supposed to be a man? Am I supposed to say, that's okay, I don't mind? I don't mind. Well, I mind.
And you've made me feel very special to invite me into your home and to let me be part of your family. Thank you very much.
Okay, go home.
It's over. Go home.
All right, last but most certainly not least, we have Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo, externalize your internal world. Okay? This is somebody, as you see here, who everything was on display. At least with herself. She knew very clearly what was up, what was going on, internally and externally. And it doesn't mean that you have to show everybody everything, but it is saying that you are at least expressing to some degree what's going on. And that's what I'm getting with this card. It's almost like a calling saying, listen, whatever you're holding back, and it is calling me to the heart. Like, what are the urges of the heart? Right? The red skirt on the bottom. A lot of passion here. The light and the dark. But see how, while it is very much in balance, there is no gray area here. It kind of just cuts from one thing to the next. So I think this is urging you to not be so black and white about things. Okay, let's see what the rest of the reading has to say. Okay, first card here, the Devil card. A lot of fire, and pleasure in this fire here. The Devil is not a scary card. I know it seems like a scary card. We talked about this in the previous pile, although in the previous pile I guess it kind of was a scary card. But in this one, there is pleasure in this very carnal, very lower base chakra energy here. And the next card is the Priestess. This is going to be the High Priestess card. Again, a lot of fire, fire, fire here in complete balance. Fire, fire here. Not as balanced with the Divine Feminine coming in here, your feminine aspects, but notice how they do balance each other out. Normally they do not correspond to each other, but in this reading, I am being drawn to say this is, again, talking about the dual aspects within you. This is about you. At first, I wanted to say, when I first see these two cards side by side, it's like, oh, are we talking about two different people here? No, we're talking about you. I'm pretty sure this is talking about you. Both cards here, a lot of duality. Again, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is a little more balanced here. The feminine, not so much, but it is fire, fire. Both in dungeons, underground. A lot of red. A lot of dark. Next card we have is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man for me is a card of a different perspective. Again, underground, right? Underground, upside down. And upside down, I'm being drawn to the cross. It's like this is something that, talking about we want to live always like, oh, this is what we express to the world. Very, very positive in the light. But it's like sometimes you do have to merge the two because we live through both. We live the light and the dark. There's something here about tradition. And this doesn't have to be religious tradition, but I think it's directly tied to what you think is good and bad. And it's calling you, the Hangman is calling you to see this from a different perspective. To see this issue from a different perspective. Because as we see the winds here, that might be just a lofty idea. It might not be a practical way of dealing with things. The next card that you have here is going to be the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords, as you can see here, everything is underground. You see that? Dungeon, hanging upside down. The swords are falling down. And there's something about here, this is a mental issue. The swords are relating to a way of thinking, right? A way of thinking that you have that it's time for you to let go of. Because it is causing you harm, right? This person is drowning in their tears. And it's a mental issue. So yes, you're being called to pay attention. What do you need to focus on right now? You need to focus on balancing yourself between these carnal urges. I'm getting this is a very sexual reading. This is almost like you dealing with your own sexuality. And we're not talking about who you're attracted to. This isn't that kind of sexuality. This is talking about just you having sexual urges in general.
Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he'd put on a dress and play a girl bunny? No. Neither did I. I was just asking.
Right? It's calling you to have balance. This is the Six of Pentacles. Again, falling down. The pentacles are going from above, below, into a state of balance. From one perspective, and then falling down into a state of... If all of these pentacles were to fall directly and you were to stack them all up here on the scale, they would all topple over because there is no balance to handle both scales. You could probably top them to a certain extent, and then sooner or later there isn't enough surface area here for those pentacles to hold. And it's saying like these two aspects of yourself, you're kind of trying to balance them all in this small amount of surface area, and it's saying like, come on, measure this out here. There's something that you're hiding from yourself, that you're not allowing yourself to express, some inner desire. Again, I'm getting that it is a very sexual thing, but it's related to how you think. It's not necessarily about what you do, but how you think about what you want to do. The next card is going to be the third house. Talk about the Hangman. These cards don't lie. Is perception. You are incredibly worried about how things are perceived, right? And oddly enough, it's your perception about perception itself that is causing you so much strife. It's imbalanced here. And it's like sometimes you gotta kick it old school. You know? Some things are just wired in our human bodies, and one of them is going to be sexuality. This is talking about thoughts and speech and dating, sociability, street life. I mean, I'm not saying to go out and have sex, but go out and have sex.
Oh, excuse me, Russell, but I believe I requested the hand job.
No, at least start to realize that it's okay to express yourself sexually, at least with yourself.
Rib for her pleasure. Ew.
This is odd. I never really get readings like this, but this is definitely, it's like it's something missing from your life that you've cast out as if it's wrong or dirty or immoral. And again, if it's illegal, yeah, don't go there. But I'm sensing that this is just you dealing with your inner urges and you chastising yourself for things that are natural or something about the way that you think about things. It's not the act itself that is causing you strife, or the lack of the act itself that's causing you strife. It is that you think you're very judgmental. You're very hard on yourself. And you should be hard in other ways, if you know what I mean. No, but seriously, you're very hard on yourself. And it's like sometimes you just gotta let yourself go a little bit. And start to see yourself in a sensual light. Again, all these lights that are coming up in these base cards, it's like the lights here, the lights here. It's that duality. And again, right in the middle, it's that neon bright light. It's like you really need to start to see things instead of from a dual perspective. The big three here. It's not one side or the other. It's maybe you got to look upside down. You know? You got to balance things out and see them as a whole. As opposed to just one side or the other. Last but not least, your quote for this pile is, "The most rewarding things you do in life are often the ones that look like they cannot be done." Yeah, I really see this as coming back to, guys, if you would just let yourself go just a little bit, even though it seems impossible, try and see things from a different perspective. Try and see yourself from a different perspective. From the outside looking in.
And you've made me feel very special to invite me into your home and to let me be part of your family. Thank you very much.
Okay, go home.
It's over. Go home.